All right, guys. Looks like we're live. As usual, I'll give it a moment or two before I actually start. That way we can give it a chance to get caught up. There's usually a delay and give the people a few minutes to actually get in here. At the moment, we have 6 viewers. Now, having said that, what I would like to do is say something at the end of the video that will actually hold some weight. So it will do yourself a favor to pay attention the whole time, and I'll explain that at the end. All right, so we're going to use this as a method to help with the test. Now, the test was put up on Google Classroom yesterday. It will be due by noon tomorrow, so you have more than 48 hours. And 48 hours is the minimum that's being recommended by the administration for any assignments. There are ways around that. However, I'm not going to make my life any more complicated, so we're doing the 48 hours. I put it out there. You guys are all responsible for it. It's an electronic thing. You take care of it, and then I have to go in and grade it manually. So as a blanket statement at the moment for everyone who is watching, the grade you get at the end of completing this assignment is not the grade you're going to get in PowerSchool. I have to go in and actually look at some of the questions that can't be graded by Google Classroom. It's not capable of reading the names with the subscripts and the formulas and all that stuff the way I can. So I just decided, whatever, I'm going to look at each answer from each person and give you a grade like I would have anyway if it was on paper in the classroom. So that's that. Disregard the grade that you get from Google Classroom. Give me a couple of days and I'll get the grade up there, hopefully by the end of this week, maybe early next week in PowerSchool. And this is the first assignment that actually holds weight in your grade. So you need to take this seriously. If you haven't started the test yet, it is due by noon tomorrow. At least that's what I remember. Noon tomorrow, noon on Wednesday. So today and tomorrow morning is all about the test. So I started this live stream to give myself some time and the opportunity to answer any questions that you might have about the test. And if you're not actually participating in the live stream, this will stay up on the Google Classroom for you to go back and watch after the fact. So say you're not awake yet at 10 a.m., then you can actually watch this when you are awake, whenever that might be. So if you're watching, do me a favor, leave a comment in the chat to the side that you're here. Okay, you say hi or whatever you got to do. And if you have a question, this is the time to ask. So I'm going to try and stall for a few more moments. Now, the test itself, like always, is going to be worth 100 points. Every test will be worth 100 points, and that's just the way it is. So there needs to be a lot of questions. Now, the test that you got on the Google Classroom is not 100 questions, but because some of them are worth more than 1 point, I think you get the idea. Anyway, it's a lot of naming and a lot of formulas. That's just how this unit works out. So you're going to have to show that skill, and the mastery part of that skill comes in the quantity. So being able to do that. And the fact they have 48 hours, you just sit down, get it done, and that's that, okay? And again, I'll be grading it manually. So disregard the grade that you get through the Google Classroom. So the test starts out with some multiple choice, and a lot of them are extremely easy. These questions are not difficult, especially if you were one of the few that have actually been playing along and watching the videos and staying on top of your schoolwork and not viewing this as a vacation. So if you've been doing that, playing along, some of these questions should be very, very easy, especially since you already have the PowerPoints and you started this unit in class. Like, you can't use not seeing me face to face as an excuse to not do well, because we started this unit in class and you had the homework well before all that anyway. So that's that. All right. So after the multiple choice is when you start getting into actually knowing some ions and the polyatomic ions. You should probably, if it were me, have all the resources available and, at your desk or wherever you're doing this stuff right there while you're working on the test. There's nothing I can do to stop you from having it out. So I'm just going to make it a rule that you can have it out. So all the sheets and reference papers and everything, even the homework and what have you, like if you have this thing, okay, here, let me switch cameras here. Again, still looking for some comments. All right, so if you have this thing available, this will tell you what the polyvalent ions are, and this bottom part will tell you what the polyatomics are. So if you have that sheet available, it might make sense to keep that out while you're answering these questions. Some of those questions, if you have this sheet, you should have no problem getting full credit because right after the multiple choice, there's a section where you have to tell me what the formula is. You get a point for the formula and a point for the charge. All that is on that sheet that I just showed you. So I have that available. You could also have the homework available with example questions. There might even be some of the questions on the test that I got from the homework. It's very possible. So there's all that. And again, no comments so far, and we are up to 8 people and 1 like. So if you're watching, please leave a comment saying that you're here so I can see who's around. We have at the moment 10 people from Lab Chem have signed up for the attendance today, and 9 people from Honors Chem have signed up for the attendance today. So there's 19 people so far that have checked in sometime today, and there are 7 people watching the video at the moment. So this has been 6.5 minutes almost at this point, and I'm waiting for my first comment over here, and so far I don't see anything. So I'll just keep going through the test. So after that, if I remember right, is when you have to start naming formulas and coming up with formulas from names. And it seems like a lot of them. Hey, Zach, thanks for checking in. Jaden. We got some people here. Okay. The test itself is due tomorrow at noon. Tomorrow at noon. It should be on April 1st. Okay. There's people popping up all of a sudden. I don't know why you guys were waiting. Maybe it was just a crazy delay. 10 people. Okay. Keep watching. What's up, guys? So keep watching. At the end of the video, I'm going to make a very special announcement, and that only pertains to the people who've watched this in real time, okay? You will get an opportunity that nobody else you will get an opportunity that if you've watched this in real time, you will only, what am I trying to say here? If you've missed the opportunity to watch this in real time, then you've missed the opportunity that the end of the video will give you. Okay? All right, so that makes sense. Everybody good with the due date? Tomorrow at noon? Okay? Okay, there's more people here than I thought. So thank you guys for checking in. I appreciate that. Okay. So a couple of things that you need to kind of stay on top of with the test itself is the crisscross. Okay? I'll probably, if you like, I can sit here and do an example or two of the crisscross so you can see it one more time, okay? But keep in mind, these videos that explained all this in the first place are still up on the Google Classroom. You can go back and watch them. They're there, okay? But I will do a crisscross or two in a moment. So if everybody's ready, right, let's do a crisscross. What do you say I do an easy one just to explain the crisscross one last time, and then I'll do a difficult one to show you how that would look, okay? Yeah. I'm the boss. I don't know why I'm asking you. All right, so let's go to this camera here. All right, so I have actually let's do this thing. Let's do this instead. So this way you can see me, and I have my pen. I'm over here to the right-hand side. There's also the periodic table on the bottom right hand of the screen. So let's do a very simple crisscross. Let's say it's something like got to do it where you can see it. Potassium iodide. All right, this is considered a very straightforward, easy crisscross. So all you do, if you're presented with this as the question, your job is to come up with a formula. So you have potassium and you have iodine. You have to go to the periodic table, find out where these guys are, and realize what their charges are based on their location. Okay, we talked about all that. We worked our way left to right on the periodic table, and I gave you all the different columns and areas of what their charges are. So it turns out potassium is always a +1. Okay, Iodine or iodide is always a -1. Now I'm going to write the numbers in just to kind of illustrate this even better. So +1, -1. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. So you take the 1, criss that down, and then take this one and cross. So criss, cross. Now the 1s do not have to be written, and you only really need 1 of each. So there you go. This is the formula that you would give me as your answer. That is an incredibly easy one. So if I step it up, let's say I'm doing barium chloride. Okay, barium chloride. Same method, same mindset. You just go through the steps. Find out where these are on the periodic table. Barium is a +2. It's in the second column. All right, it's an alkaline metal. Chlorine, same column as iodine, so that's also a -1. All right, when you do the crisscross here, you bring the 2 down. That's your criss. Bring the 1 down. That's the cross. Okay, so I can do an example of the electron configuration as well. All right, we'll do that next, since that was the first official question. So anyway, back to this example here of the crisscross. I bring the 2 down and the 1 down. So when I rewrite it, I have barium chloride. Okay, so that is the answer for the formula of that question. I hope that makes sense. Now, for a difficult one, all right, let's say I have something like, all right, so Zach has a question specific to the crisscross. He says, all charges become positive when made into subscripts, right? I don't, basically when I'm doing the crisscross here, just ignore the signs. Yeah, this is negative, and I only put a 1 here. Just you're ignoring the signs and the charges when I do the crisscross, all right? So just bring the number down. 2 comes down here, and the 1 comes down here. I'm not even talking about +2 or -2. I'm just saying the 2 comes down, and the 1 comes down. I hope that makes sense. Zach, give me your thumbs up if that helps you. Anyway, let's look at another more complicated example. I'm going to bring in the polyatomics, okay? Let's say I have barium phosphate, and I want to do the crisscross for that, okay? Same deal. We know earlier from the previous question that barium is a +2. Nothing crazy. Phosphate is one of those polyatomics. It's going to be on that sheet. That is a PO4 with a -3. There's always going to be somebody who says, well, how do you know that? If you don't know how I know that yet, you're unprepared. No offense, but you haven't been looking at this. All right, Zach, cool. You haven't been looking at this enough to know where to go for the information. You're just not familiar. So that's part of your job, is to get familiar with this stuff. The phosphate is a polyatomic, poly meaning more than one. Atomic refers to atom, so this has more than one atom. This has actually have 5 atoms, and it's an ion. So a polyatomic ion. Ion have charges. So with that in mind, I have to go to my polyatomic worksheet, that sheet that I showed you at the beginning of the video. So there's that. Now, when I do the crisscross with this, I need 2 phosphates, and I need 3 bariums. Okay, Zach, this is another good example here of what we were just talking about. Barium, I need 3 of them, and I need 2 phosphates. Now, here's the deal. Phosphate has a PO4. Well, I need 2 of them, so I'm going to put them in parentheses. I hope that makes sense. Do not mess with the subscripts. Don't put a 2 here and an 8 there, or don't screw with that at all. Just put that part in the parentheses, and outside the parentheses, put a 2. That's it. No big deal. Okay? Let's go back to this thing here. So, if you're unsure about where I'm getting this information for the ions, you got to get more familiar. Go back and double check all your notes. Okay, there's more people checking in. Good. Go back in, check all your notes. Okay, and just follow along with the videos. There's still time to watch all the videos, learn this junk, and have time to take the test. By noon tomorrow, it's due. And one thing I haven't mentioned yet, I did put this in the description somewhere along the way. For every hour that the test is late, I'm going to take a point off. This is going to be such a drag from me, but I have to give you guys some way of being accountable of the due date. So for every hour that it's late, you're going to lose 1 point. And this is going to be rounded up to the nearest the next point. So if you're 1 hour and 1 minute late, you lost 2 points. Sorry, be on time. He had 48 hours plus to get this done, plus all the videos, plus a live stream today, and plus a live stream tomorrow. Okay? So you got to do it. You got to do it on time. I don't know what else to say. Again, if you're watching, watch to the end. Okay? I'm going to give you an opportunity that those who decided not to watch this are going to miss out on. And that's just, I'm not telling you what it is yet. We're up to 12 people. Okay. Now, there was a question about Electron configuration that we will address. She says that we still need help with the Electron config. So if you could be more specific about what you're struggling with, because there was a little bit of different stuff that we could do with that. So let me know specifically what your question is about the Electron config, and I'll see what I can do to help you out. I don't want to just start doing examples and what have you. Now, the Electron configuration is only necessary for the honors students. So if you're a non-honors student and you're joining us today, that's great. I'm doing one live stream for both classes. But the Electron configuration is only going to be for the honors. Don't worry about it. It's not on your test if you're in the non-honors. So we're just waiting for clarification there of what I need to discuss. While we're waiting for that, I want to thank you guys for checking in every day with the attendance. You guys have really been doing well with that. There was a couple times that where people signed in late. I gave you credit for being in class that day, but I had to mark you tardy, just like you would have been in class. No big deal. It's not going to change your attendance in any way, but it's more for me than anything else. All right, it is on slow mode. So let's see. How can I change that? All right, let me screw around with the chat speed. I did slow mode originally because it seemed like it was easier for me to keep up. And I'm going to keep it on slow mode, but I'm going to change the duration. It was set at 5 seconds between messages. I'm going to change it to 1 second between messages. Keep in mind, I'm one guy, and I'm trying to answer all of your questions. So, Jaden, thank you for pointing that out. That could potentially make things a little better. I changed the slow mode to an interval of 1 second instead of 5. We'll see how that goes. I can always change it again. No big deal. This live stream thing seems to be working out pretty well. It's easy for me, and I hope it's helping you guys. We will do another one tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. That is 2 hours before the test is due. So you have to, if you're a little shaky, I would encourage you to be talking to your friends and getting some help from them. And maybe if you know somebody who's already taken my class or isn't currently in AP Chem or anything like that, you might want to lean on them a little bit to get you some advice as well. This test is not difficult, okay? It seems like it is, but you just got to follow the rules. Now, there's a lot of rules. That's the biggest thing with this unit is there's a lot of rules, and if you start to get shaky on what the rules are, you're just going to get the wrong answer. There's very few times where a lucky guess gets you the right answer on this unit. So we are currently at 18 and a half minutes of live stream, and we're up to 13 people. And again, those of you who are watching this live, please stay watching because I'm going to give you a task to do, which is an opportunity, and I'll explain all that in a moment. All right, we got a clarification. I'm more confused on how to write it out and how to know if it's stable or not. Okay, so let's do a couple examples of the Electron configuration. I'm going to go to this paper here. Let's talk about this. Give me a blank page. All right, so we learned the Electron configuration back in Unit 4, and that's at least where we started it. And how does it differ from Electron configurations we were writing before? Okay, good. That's a great way to put it. So originally in Unit 4, we learned Electron configurations of neutral atoms. And this was, let me go back here. We went to Unit 4 and we learned Electron configurations of neutral atoms, where we added up all of the electrons and we found a place for each of them to live. That was the 1s2, 2s2, P6, 3s2, all the way down to the bottom of the periodic table. I hope you're good with that. Now, ions start out as atoms. I hope you realize that. So we did the whole, gained and lost. So nonmetals are going to gain electrons to become more negative. Metals are going to lose electrons to become positive. So you got to start with the electron configuration of the neutral atom, and then depending on its charge, adjust the electron configuration based on that. So let's go back to this paper here. All right. And this is a really good question, okay? So let's say I'm doing something simple like, I don't know, chlorine. All right. Let's do fluorine, okay? Fluorine, neutral fluorine is 1s2, 2s2, P5. Okay, and I'm just doing that from memory. I can find it on the periodic table. You should have one available for you. Maybe open up another tab or what have you, and that might be a good idea to have floating around. Now, fluorine, when it is neutral, this is what it looks like. But when fluoride happens, it becomes a -1, which means it gained an electron. Okay? Now, that means I have to give it one more electron than what it started with. The only place I can put that is in this P5 area and make that a P6. There you go. That's the electron configuration of fluoride versus fluorine. Now, let me know if that helped. Okay, so leave a comment. Tell me what's going on there, if that was beneficial or not. So let's reread your question here. All right, how to decide if it was stable or not? That was a follow-up question you had. There are 3 different rules that you need to be looking at to see if it was stable. First, these are preferences, okay? So it's stable if it's like a noble gas. Let's look back at this one here. So fluorine is a P6. If you look to the immediate right of fluorine, the next element is going to be neon. This is the same electron configuration as neon. So when I say be like a neon or be like a noble gas, just means that the electron configuration is just like that noble gas. So that's your first option. You're super stable if you're like a noble gas. If you can't become like a noble gas, you're going to either completely fill or empty all your orbitals, or your most recent orbital. So every orbital that you have will either be completely filled or empty. That's the second option, or second best way of being stable if you can't be like a noble gas. And if you can't be like those two, then try and get your, okay, good. Then if you can't be like those two, get your noble gas, your, Jesus. All right, so if you can't be like the first 2 options, option number 1 is the best, option number 2 is second place, option number 3 is to just have your most recent orbital half filled. So you could have something like fluorine could, in theory, be a +2, where it's going to lose 2 electrons. So it would be 1s2, 2s2, P3. That's completely valid, and you would say that that is stable as well. Now, if you're going to compare these 3, I'm going to say that this regular fluorine is the least stable, so I'm going to put that at number 3. This is the most stable because it's like a noble gas, and that's your first option. This over here is your third option. So it's not as stable as this one, but more stable than the first one. So I would rank that at number 2. I hope that makes sense in terms of ranking their stabilities. Stable, kind of stable. It'll work. This isn't stable at all because it's not going to follow any of those 3 rules I just showed you, okay? Which is why this one, regular fluorine, opts to just gain 1 electron to be very, very stable. Why would it give up 2 to be kind of stable when it can just gain 1 to be very stable? So gaining and losing electrons takes the same amount of energy, all right? To gain an electron and to lose an electron is the same amount of effort. So why would you lose 2 when you can just gain 1? It's the easiest and laziest way to get to stability. And losing 1 ends up being more stable than gaining 2 anyway. at least for fluorine. That's the example that we were using. All right, let's see. Zach is asking, do compounds have electron configurations? No. Electron configuration only applies to atoms or ions, but not polyatomic ions, only for individual monoatomic situations. So an atom or a monoatomic ion. Hope that helps. The electron configuration for compounds could potentially be, I suppose, something analogous could be done, but it's not something that we're going to cover, and it would be very complicated if you even tried it. So just stick with single atoms, whether they're ions or not. All right, we're up to 12 people. Somebody ditched, so that person, whoever it is going to be missing out on the opportunity. We're at 25 minutes right now, and let's say, yes, you can reasonably say that just fluorine, neutral, is unstable. And I just kind of went through that whole thing. I hope that makes sense, okay? Just fluorine is unstable, which is why it becomes fluoride in the first place, okay? All right. Any other questions? I'm going to stall for a moment, and if you guys have any questions, please let me know what they are, because we're going to be coming to an end shortly, and I want to give you that opportunity I keep talking about. All right, 13 people back. Okay, maybe somebody got disconnected or what have you. Anyway, these 13 people, I'm going to start describing something, and I'm going to give you a moment for any last-minute questions, okay? But these 13 people that are currently watching, you guys have a rare opportunity here for extra credit, okay? If you're not watching this live and you're not going to do what I ask you to do before the end of the video, then that's that. Okay, Matt has a question before I get to that extra credit. Still confused on how to tell whether something is an acid. What's the difference between an acid and a regular compound? Matt, that's a good question. All acids start with H's. That's it. If you have a hydrogen at the beginning of the formula, it is considered an acid. So HCl, that's an acid. H3PO4, that's an acid. Anything that starts with an H is an acid. Matt, let me know if that clears it up for you. Anything else that has a metal at the beginning is just an ionic compound. And then the third option would be if there's no metals at all, then it's just a molecular compound. So we're going to wait on Matt's confirmation that made sense, and if he has a follow-up question, we'll answer that as well. All right, let's see how many people we got. Still at 13. Only 2 likes. I think I deserve more than that. 2 likes? You guys could do better. Anyway, okay. All right, Pal was saying that we're good. I hope that helps. Matt, waiting on your confirmation. There's a delay. Okay, you guys ready for your extra credit opportunity? Here's the deal. In the comment section of this video on the Google Classroom, okay, I want you to leave a comment. I want you to leave a comment of your favorite number between 1 and 5. Pick a number between 1 and 5. Okay, Matt's got it. Zach got me a like. Very good, Zach. All right, so your favorite number in the Google Classroom, comment to this video, okay? Comment to this. Can you even do that before I start saying stuff? Yes. Okay, so you'll see the announcement that I put up at 7:45, but it's edited at 9:07, okay? You'll see that there's a live stream announcement. We'll discuss the test and blah, 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 whatever. There's a section for a comment, at least for me. I need you guys to go to the Google Classroom, and I'm going to stall for a moment. Go to the Google Classroom on another tab or whatever you got to do, and make sure that you guys, as the students, have the ability to leave a comment on that announcement. All right? I'm going to wait a moment and make sure that you guys can do that. I'm not looking for the number here in the live chat. I need you guys to do it on the Google Classroom, please. Wow. Okay, just picking random numbers here. Okay. Oy. This was not well thought out. Anyway, Can you guys go to the Google Classroom and tell me for sure that you are able to leave a comment on the announcement for the live stream? I need you guys to let me know that you as students are able to do that. I can leave a comment. I'm looking at my other computer. I have the ability to leave a comment. Oh, we have some comments. Okay, so here's what I need you to do to get extra credit on this test. Okay, go to the Google Classroom and leave a comment of your favorite number between 1 and 5. Okay? This is only going to work for as long as I'm live on this video, because I'm going to close that comment section out in a few moments, and the people who decided not to watch this or decided not to wake up or what have you are going to miss out. Everybody else who is watching this is going to be able to get, thank you, Matt, everybody's going to be able to get extra credit on this test. And now we're at 16. Either people are waking up or they're getting texts from their friends about, yo, go watch this Google Live Classroom stream thing. Rob's is giving out extra credit, okay? I want you guys to leave a comment of your favorite number between 1 and 5 on the Google Classroom underneath this live stream announcement. And we're going to do that until 10:35. You have 4 minutes. So 4 minutes to get on there, open up another tab, whatever you got to do. I have 9 comments at the moment. At 10:35, I'm shutting this opportunity down. Okay? And we will probably do something like this again and again for every live stream. So this will help encourage more participation and attendance to these videos. And that's the idea. That's why we're doing this, okay? So 10:35, I have 4 minutes left. And at the moment, we have, 10 comments. All right, and I'm terrible with names, so let's see what we got here. I got Kaylee, McKenna, Mia, Pal. I have a confession to make to you. I don't know how to say your first name. Anyway, I'm going to call you Pal. So Pal, Jaden, Emily, Cynthia, Lynn, Zach, and Matt, you guys all get extra credit on this test, okay? So I will be keeping track of that. You now have 3 minutes to get me a number of 1 through 5. This is going to be confusing people who didn't pay attention and didn't decide to watch this video. So at 10:35, any comments left after that are not going to get extra credit. You now have 3 minutes left, okay? Good thing is this timestamp option on the Google Classroom is telling me who and when you are making this comment. So after 10:35, any comments after that, no extra credit. Okay. Yay, go extra credit. That's right, Emily. Extra credit. Yeah, Matt, I hope you got my message about that. I will be manually grading all these tests, so the grade that you get from the Google Classroom is definitely not accurate, okay? But yes, you were right. It will not reflect well. This extra credit will go a long way. I'm not saying how much. All right, let's see. We're up to 11. No, Johnson, go in there and make a comment, okay? I did not see one from you just yet. You still have another moment or two. At the moment, my computer says 10:33. The last comment I got was from Nicole at 10:32. All right? So we have 16 people watching. I got you, Nicole. Relax. I saw it there. Even at home, you're bugging me. All right, so, AJ, okay. Numbers 1 through 5. Lucky number, favorite number 1 through 5, whatever it is. Put this as a comment on the Google Classroom under the announcement for today's live stream. You have another minute to get this in there, okay? You definitely need to get this in there. It's extra credit. Those who are watching this after the fact, sorry, you missed out. You aren't, doing what you need to do, I guess, however you want to put it. I'm stalling because Kaylin, let's see here. Kaylin, I do not have yours either. So please go in there and leave a comment. Last one I got was AJ at 10:34. Aaliyah, I can't see it either. Nicole, I just read your comment. What are you doing? You're putting me on the spot here. Okay. Jaden, thank you. All right, make sure the comment is on the announcement for the live stream. It should be the second one. Oh, wait, hold on here. Hold on. Aaliyah, I got yours. Kaylin, I got yours. Johnson, I got yours. Jaden, I got yours. Johnson, I got you twice. Okay. My bad. We got you. All right. Emily, I did get yours. Emily, I got yours. Okay. Everybody who's made a comment here in the chat asking if I got it, I did get it. It's here. I do have it. I forgot for a moment that I have 2 classes. It's all right. So anyway, I have 2 classes of comments going. Now, at this point, it's closed, okay? I have 10:36 on my computer. The last comment I got was from Kaylin at 10:35 and Andrew or AJ at 10:34. So 10:35 has passed at this moment. That's it. That's your extra credit opportunity. This is more just to get people to participate and watch and go from, actually taking some accountability on your education. So I hope I answered all the questions that you guys had. And we will do this again tomorrow at 10 a.m., same time, same place, with another opportunity, okay? Don't tell anyone. Let them watch this video on their own after the fact and miss out on this opportunity. That's just how it's going to be. Don't tell anyone. This is for you. I was saying, well, yeah, I got you, Johnson. Don't worry. Yeah, Kaylin, I got it. I had 2 classes. I didn't check the other class, but now I did. So you're good. Okay. Matt, you answered twice, and you gave me a number of 6. So now I'm going to take your extra credit away. Anyway, tomorrow, 10 a.m., same thing. We'll do another live stream with a different opportunity, similar idea. Okay, we're gonna let everyone else who didn't watch this just get confused. Whatever. It's a little game I'm gonna play to psychologically manipulate teenagers. It's whatever. Okay, guys. I will talk to you again tomorrow. Test is due at noon on Wednesday. That's tomorrow, and we will have. Emily, now you're giving me emojis to deal with. I don't even know what an emoji is. We'll have live stream at 10, test due at noon. Okay, I'll talk to you tomorrow. See ya. Goodbye. Go away.